this moment, and you've written about this a little bit, this moment when you have a film, it has a Pakistani actor, there's been the Uri terror attacks, there's that whole backdrop. You initially, and I remember this because you said it to me, you initially said, how does it help terrorism if we remove these people? Then the pressure increases, the mood in the country changes, you feel a little out of sync with the popular mood. You do a video apology, and later you realize that you're actually not comfortable with that video apology either, that you were maybe too apologetic, too craven, too not yourself. Walk me through how you look back at all of that now.
See, I mean, I would like not to walk through because those were tough times, but since you insist.
You have written about it, which is why I asked.
And I think that it was not fun for me, to go
which
through
part?
that circle.
All of
Initially, it was like I was making a film, I was telling a story, you know, and just to be politically correct, when I had cast that film, there was no problem.
Right.
In
it
fact,
was much earlier.
There was amicable relationships between two countries, and it was all shot and ready. Now it's a film, it's a studio-funded film. I'm responsible to over 200 people, including a studio that's funded the film. Now there's this big problem that's risen, and everybody has an opinion. You're a vulnerable soft target. You're hearing all kinds of opinions from legal teams, from politicians, from everyone in your office, in your studio, in other people's studios. Everyone's calling you, they're saying the film will be banned, it will not release. That kind of loss the studio will incur. There's their pressure, there's your accountability. All of that leads you to do that video that when I look back, and if you ask me, would I do it again? If I was in a similar circumstance, perhaps I would have had to do it again. Am I happy about it? Not at all. I felt weak, I felt spineless, I felt annoyed, I felt angry, I still am. While talking about it, I take back to that moment when I sat there and everybody called it a hostage video. There was an invisible gun on my head in a certain sense, and I'm not blaming anyone but myself. And will I apologize for the apology video? I don't know. But I am definitely not going to look back that with any amount of pride. There's a lot of regret there.
You feel spineless.
I felt very spineless because it wasn't my ethos, it wasn't my way of thinking. It's not what I believe, that as an artist, I don't have that belief about other artists in the world. And I have those opinions, and whether you call it left-wing or right-wing or progressive or regressive, that's entirely your opinion. But to me, I felt like a spineless but vulnerable filmmaker at that time, and that is not who I am, because that's the one thing that I was given by my parenting, is a solid spine, where I should stand up and believe. But at a certain circumstance, you're caught between forces and you don't know what to do. And I'm not beyond that.
We're all human. We've all done things that we feel embarrassed of. Yeah.
It's not even a human error, it was a human circumstance. And when I look at that video, I can't believe that I did what I did. And I'm yet telling you that if I've gone through the similar situation and it was heading towards an extreme circumstance, I may have to do something like that again. Would I believe it? Would I still be considered spineless? Perhaps.
So you feel a certain degree of self-loathing is what I'm sensing for having done it?
I'm very upset about myself. I'm very upset that I had to do it. But, you know, I would rather not justify it to you and say that, you know...
No, I'm not asking you to justify. I'm trying to understand it.
There is no justification to what I had to do. I did it and it's done.